Okay, in this module, we will take a look at charting. So what exactly is charting? Well, as you can surely surmise, it's simply when you take your data and you convert it into a graph. And the reason you make that graph is because it makes the data easier to read and interpret. In this module, we'll take a look at some of the more popular charts that are being used, and that will include the category or column graph, line graphs, the pie chart, tree maps, combo charts, and a few bonuses along the way. Let's start off with a bar graph. Here we have our data, and it's essentially our country here, our sales here, and what we want to do is create a graph based off this data, obviously. So let's start by selecting our data, and then go up and click where it says Insert, and over here where it says Chart. And quite predictably, Microsoft has given us a whole host of ways to create charts. Let's go over here and click on this arrow, which will launch this dialog box. And this dialog box has two options. It'll give us some recommended charts. And then over here where it says Alt Charts, we want to click on this just to give you an idea of the wide variety of charts available here in Excel. That said, let's go with our default column graph. In case it helps, column graphs are used for comparison purposes. In a nutshell, they summarize your data into this nifty little chart. After the chart has been created, the next step that most people do is format the chart. Now, as a qualifier, please recognize that you can spend literally hours with chart formatting. Chart formatting can be very nuanced, very detailed, and very deep, and we're going to keep things very superficial and focus on the big picture and show the more commonly used items. Let's start by learning how to switch our data. If we don't like the way the chart appears, we can go up and click on this icon right here where it says Switch Data. And when we do that, it's very intuitive. You can just click and see what happens with the data that's being graphed. Moving on, if you want to change the design of the chart, you can hover on these icons right here to change the style. You can also change the colors by clicking on the drop arrow right here. And over here where it says Add Chart Element, you have a ton of choices to explore. Your best bet here is to hover over the option that you want. You'll see it reflected on the chart. And then if you like it, you can choose it. Some common options that people display are the axis title on the horizontal and the vertical. So let's take a moment and do that. And while we're here, we can change these axis titles by clicking on them and typing in the label that we want to see. And we could do the same thing with the chart title if we choose. But instead, let's take a look at a cool trick we can do, which is to create a linked chart title. The way we do that is first click on the chart title, then go up to the formula bar and type in $. And then we'll go over here and click this text to use as the chart title. Press enter, and there we go. Now, if this text would change in the cell, it will be reflected on the chart itself. That's pretty cool. Moving on, let's start to explore chart formatting. Now here is where the fun starts. You're going to recognize real quick that chart formatting can get pretty intense. It's not difficult, there's just a lot of things that you can do. We can get to our chart formatting by doing a right click on the chart, then go down here where it says Format Chart Area. A pane will open up on the right-hand side. And now from here is where you can go ballistic. This is where all the many formatting options live. For example, you can apply shading, gradients, 3D formatting. A lot of PowerPoint-esque type of features are available here. Now the key to all this is to recognize that what you want to do is click on whatever chart element you want to work with first. And that's vital. Let's repeat that one more time. What you want to do is click on the piece of your chart you want to format first, then go over here into the formatting area and make your changes. So for example, let's say we want to remove the decimals that are being displayed over here. What we do is click on the axis first, then go over here to the axis options, and we want to find where it says decimal, change that to 0. You'll see it reflected on the chart, and there we go. Another example is you might want to change the individual bar color. So what you want to do is first click the bar itself, then go over here into the formatting area, look for the paint bucket, change the color, and then from here, it's just a matter of doing a rinse and repeat. And we'll stop right here for the sake of sanity because it just gets flat out ridiculous. So if you're a formatting person, have fun, go nuts.